everything's here, and then go to the design part and change this to vertical just for the showing purposes. So let's add a plain text. So guys, there is a difference between text view and plain text, as you already know, I think so. Text view is a static text, so that you can change the data, like you can change the data, but you can't get the input from the user. But to get the input from the user, you need to use the plain text. In that, user can enter the input. So in this name is like in the it's in the left side of the screen, but I want that to the center. So how can I do that? So that's where gravity comes into play. So go to the edit text file and then layout gravity center. So sorry, it's not layout gravity. See, it's come into center. So like that, you can use many things, not only center, horizontal, or else center, horizontal, center same in this case, but you can always make something center or right or left depending upon the attributes you give to the gravity. So this is the gravity. Okay, so okay, our next topic is padding. So what is padding? The definition says that it's a specific space between the boundaries of the widget and the content of the widget. So guys, there are two things. The other side is as that margin and padding. So there is the difference between two things. Like whenever you see, like many people think that there is no difference between the two things, but actually there is a difference. So to explain that, I want a screen, open jam, start a new whiteboard. So this is just a small screen to tell you what is the difference between padding. So guys, see that my drawing is so horrible, but please forgive me for that. So see, this is an Android screen. In that, there is some text. The text name itself text. So margin means height between either this top to this is considered as margin, top margin, and the higher length from this to this is considered as left margin, and length from this to this is considered as right margin, and its length from this to this is considered as bottom margin. So this is the difference between margin. So if the text layer is this is margin. So then what is padding? Padding means, let's take the same screen. Sorry, it comes as a big screen. Okay, it looks like ideal mobile screen. So there is same text, but now the padding is not like the margin from the edges of the screen. It's inside the text, like from the text to the outside. So this box is padding. So this is top padding, this is bottom padding, this is right padding, this is left padding. So this areas is called padding. So if you click in this space also, the text will get selected. So that's where padding is used to avoid the mistakes of the user. Sometimes the user can click nearer to the text, but it won't work. So for that only, some amount of padding is added to the text or any other widgets to always ensure that there is no difference. There is no misconception that user has. So that's all. We came to the end of the slide, I think. So I'm boring with you slides. Like now normally we see about padding and margin. So it's the same, guys. See, padding means, see, without padding, the text will look like this. With padding, see, it's inside. Like the area is larger with padding. But with margin, it's not like that. Without margin, it occupies to the corner of the screen, but with margin it came to the center. So can you see my screen, right? So everybody reply my the chat. Yes, okay, but you can't see my video. Am I right? So there is some small thing from my side. Let's give me a 1 minute gap. Okay, my screen is visible. I think so. My video is back. I'm using my mobile as the webcam, so that's the problem. Okay, so these are the topics that you see till the till now, like from the first event to the second event starting. So the topics I gonna teach now are different. Like you don't see them in the first event. So this and all you may seen in the first event, but for the people who miss that, this can be useful. So okay, I'm gonna start my topics. So is there anything that you want to ask about first event or topics or whatever it is now? Like I will feel like you want to understand, so you can put it in the chats fast. So I want this event to be interactive, right? So that's give me energy to deliver you more, as this is my first time. Like I'm take sections to some people's, but not a webinar. So this is my first time. So if I make any mistake, you should also should forgive me and tell some feedback to me so that I can also upgrade myself. So is there any doubt, guys? So can I move forward? So I want response from everybody. Like people, there are some. For now, everything is going great. Thank you. So can I move forward? Okay. So what are we are gonna see is now, like we are gonna see scroll view, list view, and then shared preferences, and moving from one activity to another using indent, and passing data using indent, and then getting input from the users, and then some menus, some surprise elements that I made specially for you. Uh, okay, so okay, before going into that, we will see deep into the relative layout, because we will in this webinar we will use only relative layout and linear layout, because since I always recommend that as a beginner who are not starting Android development should not go directly into the constraint layout, because if you mess up with constraint layout, like you won't get a proper output. But it's the most powerful layout. I understand constraint layout is the most powerful, but it's always good to use relative layout and linear layout at the starting stages. After you get some level of experience with relative and linear layout, you can directly jump into the constraint layout and start exploring that. So what is relative layout? So guys, relative layout, in the word itself there is relatives. So who are all relatives? Who, like our neighbors, right? Who are all sit next to us, like who has a house next to us or beside us. So like that, we arrange the views. See, layout is nothing but uh, layout is used to hold the views. Like see this, we use layout to cover the whole screen, and into that we will put views like a text or a button or anything. So relative layout is used to contain the views in the relative format. Like You can arrange the views using the other views. So like it may be sound a bit confusing for you. Let's jump into the quick example, relative layout. So we do some things fast. So a text is there, an edit text is there. So let first only with text we will see. So guys, there is a text here, and it has an ID. ID is nothing but a name to the text view you're giving. See, there can be hundreds of text view and hundreds of edit text, but everything should have a name to identify themselves. We know that this is the text view of this text, but the ID can't understand that. So to ensure that, you also always need to give the name. So you can give this name as text one. Maybe you can give anything. It's your wish. So if I want some other view to be below this text view, I can't directly drag and drop that. So if I do that, see, it overlapping that, right? So that's the thing in relative layout. Relative layout, you need to mention after which view this view should come. Like if you're dropping a new text view here, you should mention where it should come. So let's have a new text view here, and we give it as web content, and then id is text 2. So then after that, we are gonna tell this text view should come next to this text view. How can we do that? Type layout or else below b. If you type b itself, it will show the possible thing. So after this, click enter and then click at id, and then type the id of this text view, like text one, and then give a text to this text view first, because or else it will show like nothing. So let's say Android. Now see, can you see? Mm, Let me go into some zoom. See, this text view now is below this text, and then close this. Okay. So, and if you want this to the right, you can also do that. And or else, if you want to this text in the center, to center horizontal, and then give throw. Center. So now, okay. So now the Android is in the center. If you click layout itself, see there are many options available. All these options are used to arrange this views regarding with the another views. So that is the main thing about relative layout. So the powerful version of relative layout is nothing but the constraint layout, but we're not going to discuss it here. And you should wait before going into that because it's somewhat difficult. Okay, so we see what is relative layout, and then we gonna move to the next topic, scroll view. So have you screen something like mm, so see, this is the size of an ideal screen, right? So what if our data or views will go beyond this screen? So what should we do? Does the scroll view will automatically be implemented? No, it doesn't happen in Android Studio. You should give, you should tell the IDE should use the scroll view. So that's when the scroll view comes into play. So let's see example of scroll view. Okay. Mm, Just go like this is our main layout. In that, I'm gonna do caps. Scroll, you see, it already showing. After that, give this it and height as match parent. Match parent is nothing but it matches the whole parent. Parent is nothing but relative layout. Relative layout occupies the whole screen. If you give match parent to scroll view, it also occupies the whole screen. So after that, you may give an ID or not, but it's always advised to give an ID to whatever the use you use. And then, so this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. So inside the scroll view, you can have only one widget, or else you can have only one layout. So you should not directly give text view and all, because scroll view can have only one view. So you should always try to give a layout. Either it's a relative layout or a linear layout or anything, but you should always give a layout because scroll view can contain only one thing. So see, for example, let us give a text view now. For error purpose, I'm showing. So what happened when you give some two things? So I'm copying this and again giving it. Don't work because scroll view can't contain two or two things. See, see, can't determine the type. So to avoid this, like inside this, always give either a linear layout which has the match parent, and inside the linear layout, you can give whatever you want. Like for example, I will give a text view. So the text view again has match parent, and then the text will be have a sample text to show this because uh, I can't type this much, right? So just paste the text here. See, it's very clumsy. So I'm extracting the string resource, giving it a name like uh, and so the whole thing became this. I'm just collapsing it up because it's easy for you to identify. You can use web content since the ID recommends I use it. So see, let me explain again what I have done. So there is a parent view called relative layout, and inside this there is a scroll view. And inside the scroll view, I'm using a layout again because the scroll view can contain only one layout. And inside layouts, you can use as many text you want or as many buttons you want. You can use a button, anything. Okay, first let me run and see that scroll view. Actually, this is the error. So we can create multiple layouts in a single layout. We can create multiple layout in a single layout. So actually, what's your question means? I can't understand your question. Okay, actually, Ankit has answered that. You can create multiple views or view groups in one layout. Yeah, a view group can contain another view group. It's not a problem. But a view cannot contain another view. So that see, like a text view cannot hold another text view. A text view cannot hold another text view, but a linear layout can hold two text views or three text views, whatever it needs. It's taking too long. See, now you can able to scroll this, right? You can able to screen, right? You can scroll this. So if you don't use the scroll view, the text will be cut in the half itself because whatever the contents will be in the screen only be shown. So that's a small example of scroll view here. So what is the next thing? So next thing, let us create a token. Actually, let us create a new project, or we can use the this project itself. So now we're gonna see what is list view. Our next topic is list view. So guys, you're seeing the things like our WhatsApp screen or some scrolling items like your LinkedIn text or else your Facebook Messenger. So you scroll and there is an horizontal items like if you click the chat, you will go into the chat. So how can we achieve this horizontal items with the scroll view? So that's what we are seeing now. So let's take out this scroll view. Now let's implement the list view. So for now, I'm turning off the simulator. Okay. So to define a list view, first let's go to XML file and then the match parent and height as match parent and then an ID to it. ID will be list view. So after giving that, so now there is an automatically created list item. Okay. So these are the pre-default, but we don't want this. We need our own list. So we can create a list of programming languages available now. Okay. So we're gonna create a list of programming languages available. To do that, just go to the main activity. So what are the things we're gonna do with this view? Mainly comes after. So first create a val. So you know the difference between var and val. I hope you know. Val is nothing but you can't change the value once it's given. So I'm creating the variable val, sorry, variable list view, and I'm gonna bind this, or else I'm gonna set this list view to this variable. That I'm gonna do by using find view by ID, and in the small or diamond brackets, I'm gonna give the like what view I'm gonna use. So it's a list view. Since I'm directly using val here. The two after the set content, I'm using this. And there is also another method that you can't use this. You can give it as a global variable. So I will tell later in this part. And then clicking or dot id dot and then list view. So this name, the name of this list view, and I'm connecting this list view with this list view. So it's everywhere list view. So this r.id means nothing but r means resources, id means list view. So in the resources, get me the ID of the list view. So that's the meaning of the statement. And after that, let's like what we want to display. We want to display a list of programming languages. So for storing the our programming languages, we need to create an array. So everybody knows an array, right? So array is nothing but a collection of data. So again give a name, again give a variable. In that variable, we're gonna do programming. So we're gonna keep this variable as programming. And to create an array in Kotlin, like in C language, we will use different methods. In Python, you will use different methods. In Kotlin, you're gonna use a method called array of. So in array of, you're gonna store all the language, Java. So store them as strings. Okay. To store them as strings, you need to do double quotes, and then use C++, Java, and Kotlin. You can also say me some programming language name in chat so that don't waste so much time in taking them. JavaScript, Rust, Scala, Ruby. Huh, I can't get names after this. I'm not getting any programming language name in chat. Um, okay, see. So these are the programming languages we're gonna display in the list view. So display that in the list view, we're gonna use a adapter. So adapter is nothing but like adapter is used to like get this datas and store them in the list view. It's like a transmitting medium. So to create an adapter, same like you need to create a val and then give it a name array adapter, and then calling array adapter class that you can using array adapter, and then specifying which data type you're gonna pass. The data type is string, and then you're gonna equal it to the again array adapter. Like see guys, you can relate to this like you're gonna create an object. So we are creating an object. So after creating this, like a name and which class you want and which method you inside this array adapter method. This array adapter method is available inside the array adapter class. So pass the application context. Application is context nothing but the current activity. Whatever activity out there, it will be in the application context. So you're gonna pass that, and then which list item you want. Like there are many list item available. We're gonna use a simple list. So to know that, Android dot we are going to the Android library, and in the resources of the Android library, go to the layout and then simple list item one. Click this. So this is the first parameter. This is the second parameter, and the third parameter will be your array. Your array is nothing but programming. Okay. Go to programming. We have passed these three items. So this is the three parameters that is required. And now we gonna now we created adapter, we created an array, and we have a list view. So now we're gonna use them. Like how you can use them? You need to set the adapter to the list view. How can you set that? It's easy. Let me tell you. Just type your name of the list view. Our name of the list view is list view or else a variable, and it's a dot, and then type adapter, and then equal to array. So now our list view is set into the sorry, our array adapter is set to the list view. So when we run our code, see, you can see a list of all our programming languages in this. C, Ruby, Scala, everything. So this is similar to that WhatsApp, right? You will have a first contact here, second contact number here, third contact number here, and if you click this, you will go to another screen. But here we don't, because we didn't say anything about that. Our ID will do whatever we say. So first we should say that how to have a click listener. So click listener is nothing but if you click this, it should do something. So I'm also going to tell you that how to do that. So it's easy, guys. It's not a tough task. Just go to the another line, and then you need to click set the listener. Listener means it will listen to the OS what are the things happening in the mobile. So on the moment we click in the item, it listens to that and perform the activity. So to set a click listener, again call the list view and then put a dot and then type set on item click listener. On item click listener, choose the second one, I think. Okay, this is the one. So second one, because it should contain the parent and something. So after that, go to this part and click enter. So now we're going to test it by a toast message. So I know you guys are aware of the toast message. Just toast, and inside the toast we're going to pass this as a parameter, because this is nothing but the same what is application context, and this means somewhat there is a difference, but as of now you understand it both are same. We are passing the activity, so in which activity the toast will display. So you are passing this activity, and then inside the text we're gonna put you clicked. If I run the app, see, whatever things you're clicking, it says you clicked. But we don't want that, right? Like it does the same activity for all the things here. So what we want is, you want to show the name of the sorry, you want to show the name of the list view. So to add that, just go to the toast here and then add a plus symbol, and then see our array is in the programming. So call the our array programming, and then you should not leave with that. You should tell which position you clicked. You should give the position to the toast. Then when it will calculate. So open a square bracket and see in the position is returned in the set on click. It's default with the on item listener. So directly pass this position inside this thing. So after click this and running the app, click on rest Actually, I didn't give the space here. Okay, if you click on Java, you clicked on Java. If you click on Kotlin, you clicked on Kotlin. If you clicked on Rust, you clicked Rust. So by using this way, you can do these things. Okay, this is the our introduction to the list view. So you can play with it, guys. Like after this session, you can just open your Android Studio and add different items and add different list items, and you can add many list items so that you can scroll. But guys, there is interesting thing like that in list view. You don't need to add scroll view; it is inbuilt. So no worry about that. Okay. So that's all about list view. Now we're gonna see about indents. So what is indent? Okay, before starting with indents, anybody have a doubt with the list view or before scroll view? Any doubts? So I'm waiting for the messages. Come on, type it in the chat. Or shall I continue with the indents? Can you scroll to the right for a minute? Scroll to the right means, I mean this. Then the code. Okay, okay, the code. Understand, understand. Is that okay? Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. So that's all for the list view. Okay. So see guys, whatever you create now is a single screen application. What if you want to like have two screens and want to connect them? You can't like create another screen and then it directly gets connected. We need to tell like from this screen you should go to the that screen. So for navigation purposes we use indent, and for passing data also. But first we will see about navigation. Navigation means like if you click this rust, another activity should open, like another screen should open. And like what can we do in that activity? We can display the name of this thing. Okay, we can display this name of thing. So how can we do that? So that can be done by go to the file and click new. Not here, I think so. Go to this package and then right click new activity, create again an empty. See, remember this flow, new activity and empty activity. So our second activity is main activity.tool. You can rename it to your wish. The first activity only is default, but the second activity is main activity 2. You can always rename this. Our source language is Kotlin and the package name okay. So it's not a launcher activity, it's a second activity. And then generate a result file. It should be always checked because we also want an XML file. After clicking that, click finish. So there you go. You have created another activity. But even after creating another activity, so we see guys, we have two activities here, right? So our main activity this and our main activity two. So even when you run the app, so it's again installing. So even if you run the app again, nothing happens because you didn't like use this activity anywhere. You just created that. So To use this, like what I'm gonna do this is, if I click Kotlin, another screen should open and it should display Kotlin. So what are the list we click? Based upon that, we're gonna populate the data. So just go to the another screen. Okay, for now I'm closing this emulator to the right. So now what I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna change this constraint layout to a convert view native layout. So after that, I'm gonna set a text view. This text view will be, it will be match parent app content, and then the default text it shows is default only. Two times default. It shows default. So I'm gonna center this text view. To center this, I'm gonna use layout center horizontal and set it to true. Center in parent. So it's better to use center in parent. So I'm gonna use, and then gravity to center, and then I'm gonna use again increase the size of the text to 30 SP. SP means scale point, that is used to measure the text in Android Studio. And set a padding, maybe 10 dp. Dp means density pixel, and then close this thing. So I didn't give ID, so important to give an ID. So our ID is display. Okay. So our text view name is display. Now to move like from this activity to this activity, like from main activity to main activity 2, you need to create indents. Indents means indent is already available in the Android Studio. It's already pre-built in Android Studio. You just want to call them. So just create a variable. You can name this variable as indent itself, or else you can keep anything, I or Android, anything you can keep as its name. And then get the indent class and open the curly braces. After that, pass this activity. For passing this activity, you always use this or application context. And which activity you want to go? You want to go to main activity 2. Okay, and then finish this with 2 double quotes and class.java. So many of them think like what happened here. So it's nothing but this Indian is available only in Java. So we are referring to a class in Java because we are using language Kotlin, but Indian is available in Java only. So to access that, we are using this two colon and class.java. In Java, you won't use this. After you created the indent, you specified. See, guys, there are only 2 parameters. Which activity you are there and which activity you want to go. If you want to go to the main 3, just go and type main 3. But there is nothing called as main 3 here. You have only main 2. Just pass this 2 in the indent and then in the variable. So with this variable, so guys, I've created an indent. but even though it won't go. So I already created the indent, but it won't go because I will tell you. See, I created an indent. Like when see, I created an indent inside the set on click listener app. Means if you click any of this, it should go to the another activity. But why it is not going? Because we didn't trigger this intent. To trigger whatever you are creating, we need to trigger. To trigger this, put start activity and then pass this intent. So now it works fine. Let's see that. See, but whatever thing you click, it will go to the default only. So now what we're gonna do is based on the clicks on the languages, you need to display that particular language in the screen. Understand? So to do that, what you're gonna do is just head over to the main activity to and then you have a text view here. So I said right to avoid that list view. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create latent var text view. So see, don't be panic. Whatever I done, I will explain. So the var is nothing but our normal variable, nothing but the values can be changed inside this variable. And this text view means the name of our text view. You can keep it this thing to anything. You can keep this thing to Java or my name or anything. So you can just keep this. So I am just keeping this as text view. Latent means late initialization means now this text view is without any values, that this text view does not have anything. If I take this latent means it will throw me error because in Kotlin you cannot leave a variable simply like that. You need to assign that. So but I'm not going to assign, I no need to assign that because like I don't want to assign that because it's in the later part of the code only. So to avoid that, we add latent so that we can use inside without any errors. After that, just set the text view like here is a variable, but this variable should know which is the text view. So what is the name of a text view? It's display. Just type this variable and put an equal to and then find view by id. In that pass r dot id dot text view. Sorry, it's the display, right? Okay, so now the data is set. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass this data from this activity to this second activity. So how are we gonna do that? We're gonna do that in main activity only because I said right, intent is used for both navigation and then passing of data. To do that, just you already have created an indent, so you don't need to worry. Like with this indent detail, we can pass the data. Just go to the indent. In the second line of the indent, type indent means see I am referring only this indent, not this indent. This is class and this is my variable. Okay. So go to the indent and then dot our method is called put extra. Put extra means what the thing I'm gonna like put for passing data, we're gonna put something into this intent. We're gonna put this intent and send it to the other activity and then get that in string or get the data. For that, first we are putting this data. So for putting this data, there is two parameters. One is our name and one is our value. Name is nothing but an ID. Like our ID can be what language. It can be also caps or small, but I prefer small letter in IDs. And then put a comma and then pass the value. Which value you're gonna pass? You're gonna pass the clicked value. So get the clicked value, already understand like how to get the clicked value. Just programming and position. Like in the array of programming, which position we have clicked. Based upon that, it will take the value. So just pass the same thing. Programming, open the square bracket, position. Okay. So after doing that, now the data will be passed. See, now I'm running. The data is passed, but it don't work. See, I'm clicking this, but why it's not changing? It's default only. Why? Because in the second activity, we didn't get the data which you have sent. Sending data is not a problem, but we should also get the data. For getting the data, you again need an indent. Same, create a val, create an indent, and now you're gonna use get indent method or else indent. It's in Kotlin. This is both get indent set indent, so you can use this. See, only this line, and after that, create another variable called as lang or language. I'm keeping this short as lang, and using this indent we have created using this, we're gonna get that intent. See, just type this intent and put dot, and now we're gonna use get string, not array. Yeah, get string extra. So what is get string extra? So we gonna put the variable to the put extra and get using get string extra. If you're getting the int, you need to use get int extra. If you want to get the boolean like true or false value, you need to use get boolean extra. So for getting the string, you're gonna get string extra. So what is the name of the string we passed here? Language. So just copy this language to avoid any error, and then paste it here. Okay. Now, okay. Now what the indent did here is we created an indent, and using the indent we get the data and we store the data into the language. Now we're gonna set this language to the text view. That's all, simple. So how can we access the text view? Just by using text view, because we have already connected this XML text view to the Kotlin text view, right? So just type text view dot text equal to this lang. Sorry, or this lang. Okay. So now we're gonna run this app. So if you click now Java, see Java is opened. If you click C++, see C++ is opened. If you click JavaScript, see JavaScript open. So this is the concept, guys. See, this is a simple concept, but this is used in WhatsApp also. Like when you click the chat of your mom chat will open. If you click the chat of your dad content will open. So this is the logic behind that. So that's done using this only. So this is passing data using indent and navigating through intent. You can also use like navigating through intent, not only using list view. See, I'm used the list view here to navigate the intent. Like so, in this main activity, to show you other example about the intent using the button, I will do this just to let you guys know. Just I'm creating a button, and then the button is web content, and that button has an ID called button 1, and then its layout below ID of the queue. See, I'm using below because I want this button to backside of this. So I'm setting this button text tags. Next, so I want this button to be centered. So to be centered, what should I do? I should always layout center horizontal and set it to true. And then I want a gap between default and button. So what should I do? I should always go to this button tag and then set that margin top. Since it's below this layout, it considered this as the starting point. So margin top, do some 30 dp. See, 30 dp space I got using margin. And that's all. I'm gonna close this. Now, to use this button in the Kotlin, I'm going to the Kotlin file and again using the latent file because this button is not pre-initialized. And again using the name button. See, I'm created a variable button. So now again, what I'm gonna do is just type button equal to find view by ID or dot ID dot is not display, sorry, it's button one. Hey guys, like already I said, whenever you are using this val directly inside this, after this on create, if you use this means you should always specify the what type of view you are using. But since I have let in this var above the on create, you don't need to use that diamond brackets. So that's the thing you can save here by using this latent. And then I need to set the on click listener to this button. Means same click listener what we use in the list view, you're gonna use for the button. So that can be achieved by calling the button dot set on click listener set on click listener. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create an indent again. It's nothing but wall. I'm gonna keep this indent as indent one because I already use this indent here. Indent one equal to indent. What is the use of language in the line 21 of the main activity? Line 21 or 22? Oh, this language. Okay. So, okay. See, what we are doing is right. We just creating a variable called the lang. It can be any name, okay. And then after creating that, bam. See, already we sent the data using indent, and that indent name is lang. So this data we are sending, right? It contains the name language. To access this using this intent, we using this name. So whenever you are accessing here, like using get string extra, we using that name. That's the point here. Like whatever your name give, if you give my name, it works fine, not a problem. So you can whatever you want. Okay. So like your doubt. Okay, got it. So it's like ID. You are pairing them and sending, and with one thing you're getting the value. So we are creating another intent. For this time, the intent is nothing but to go to the another activity. So just open the parenthesis and then pass this activity like same. And then for going to another activity, you should create another screen. But okay, let me create another screen itself so that you can understand that clearly. So go to the new and the button use. Button use means so it's nothing. See, just go to the layout you have, and then inside this is the our parent layout. Inside the parent layout, you can use this button anywhere. just type button and then give it layout width and height. So web content means nothing but the content of the button. It's if you give match parent means the button takes the whole parent. So web content means it takes some adequate space according to the button. Okay. So after that, give an ID. After that, tell the button where it should be. So it should be below the layout of the display. So below the text view, it should be there. So I'm saying that, and then click, say the button text is equal to next. So if you click next, it should go to the screen. I'm using the name. I can use any name. See the name changes, and then I'm setting the button to the center, and then I'm giving a margin between the default and the button because I want a little space, so I'm giving margin top as 30 dp. So I'm getting this amount of space. I can give anything like 50 dp or whatever. So after that, just go to the place where this class main activity starts, and before this one, see, this is the area you want to type. You should type this in inside this. Put latent and var, and then again give a name to a button. Your button name can be the next button. So if you want to change there, change here also. Next button. So my button name is next, and I'm setting the button name button this button name to the button in the main activity. Sorry, activity main.to, because we know that this button is in the main activity 2 and it's here, but we want to tell the compiler to access this button. So we are setting this using a find view by ID, and then using the name of the button, just hit the name and put the dot and directly do set on click listener and click and enter. And after clicking the after setting the listener, just create an indent. We are gonna create an indent for like just opening the new activity. So we can use this using indent class and opening the parenthesis, and then this we're gonna pass parameters as this activity and which activity you want to go. You want to go to the main activity. You don't want to go to the main activity. I'm creating another activity. Main activity 3 is another activity, same things, don't change anything, and then click finish. So our third screen of our app is ready. So in our third screen of app, there will be nothing. So to show that I'm changing the background color of this, to show the difference. So our third screen, to change the background, go to this space where the layout is there, and then change the background to whatever color you want. Just type ash and 000. Our color palette will open. After clicking the color palette, keep any color. I'm giving green. Okay. So whenever I click this button in the I click this button, it should take me to the third activity, which has a green screen. So pass this main activity dot three here. See guys, be careful when passing this. Don't pass any other activity. Go to main activity dot three and then put to full stop or a colon and then class.java. Now, what do you want to do? Just trigger this indent one. So now if you run, I'm rerunning the app from the first so that you get to know about the flow of the app. Just go to the C++. If you open, everything will open same only. Our data changes here, but Ruby open means you will open Ruby. But if you click this button move, it will take you to the blank screen, like not blank screen, a green screen. So this is navigating using indent, guys. So we will move from one activity to another activity using indent. And I also tell about the passing of data using the indent. So what is our next topic? So our next topic will be like getting the input from the user and displaying it in some other activity. So for that, let me create some new project. Don't want to use the same project because you will get confused if I do all the thing in the same project. Okay, same things. Package name, save location, language is Kotlin, and then click finish. This is our new project. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna say how to get the data from a user. Like we are typing, right? That data should we get, and then display the data in the another activity using by getting the data and then storing it in a variable and then passing using intent. So what we do is just go to the screen and then take this out. Now we don't use constant layout here, so change the constant layout to let's take linear layout here. Linear layout, it should be vertical. I don't want horizontal linear layout. So after doing that, just I'm starting building a view. I'm giving the text as enter the name. Sorry. Enter the name. And getting the gravity to the center. Actually, by for text view, layout or gravity is for the center. And then margin top as some 50 dp and text size. So what is text size? The size of the text is 40 sp. For text size only we use sp. Rather than any other thing, you use only dp. Okay, remember that. So enter name. Okay, so I'm closing this. So after that, I need a button. Button, wrap content, and button name will be done. Okay. So actually, I don't want a button here. First, I want the edit text because where the user will enter the data in the edit text only. So after that, we get a button. So I just gone advanced. So just click that button and have a edit text, and then and then to vertical, and then put up a texture like dragging or writing, and keep this as default or something, because this is the default text whenever the data doesn't come, and increase the size of this text using text size or xp, and the layout gravity will be center. Okay, so what we're going to do is now, first, to get the data from this edit text, we need to define this in the Kotlin. So just go to the app compact activity. So between this, type latent var edit text, edit text. So I'm changing this to username itself. You can give this any name. So, and then I'm using this username equal to find view by id or dot id dot same username only. It's that's not a problem. You can put same names. And then see now connected this edit text with the layout edit text. So what I'm going to do is just create another latent, because I need to also set the button, and again put the button thing here. Its name is button itself, no problem. So then again button equal to find view by id or dot id dot. See, I didn't use id for the button. It's button done. I'm keeping the name as button done. Okay. So after that, just click button dot done. So we have created button also. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the data whenever the user click the buttons. So after the bit, what is the difference between SP and DP? So like difference between SP and DP is SP is scale point and DP is density point or density pixel, they say. So whenever using this attribute, wherever you use this attribute inside the button or text or edit text, not a problem, but you should always use SP, because for defining text you use SP, and whenever you are using layer margin or size of another button or see layout margin, anything, you should use DP. So that's the difference between SP is used for defining text and DP is for everything else other than text. Okay. So where I left is I'm gonna set the listener to this person, because I don't want to get the input like after the user typed. I want to get the input only after the user clicked on the button. Okay. So only after the user clicked on the button, that we can use using set on click listener. Okay. Dot set on click listener, and inside this I'm gonna get the data. It's not only like I want to get the data, I want to store the data into a variable. For that, just create a variable, name it as name of user equal to. Now we're gonna get the data using the edit text. See, our edit text here is username. Just type username dot text dot to string. So okay, don't worry, I will explain what I done. Okay, so what I done is right. I have created a variable called the name of the user, and what I'm storing in that variable is the data I got from the user. How I'm getting the data? I'm using the edit text name and dot text, and this, what is this to string? So whatever the data that user enters, I'm gonna change it to a string. String means letters. So even if the user enter 123, I'm gonna consider it as a string because don't want to get any error because not all the users will correctly enter text right. Some even enter the numbers. So to overcome that, I'm changing the whole thing to a string. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is, okay, I got the data now. I'm storing in the variable, and I'm gonna pass this data from this activity to main activity 2. How I'm gonna do that? Just again create a variable, create a name called indent. Yeah, give a name to an indent. It's already I'm giving it as indent only, and then again call the class of the indent. Open the curly braces, pass the two parameters like this is one parameter. This means from which activity you want to go. See from which what is the current activity? That's the first parameter. And what is the activity you want to go? That is the second parameter. Second parameter is main activity 2. And then put this two thing and class.java. So it automatically generated everything. And then what I'm gonna put extra. I'm gonna use put extra method. How I'm gonna use just call the indent and put a dot and then see first option itself put extra only, enter that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a name. What is my name? My name can be user. What I'm going to put the name of the user. So just copy this and then paste, control plus V. So now I'm transferring using indent. So but even this won't work because what I said, whenever you print indent, you need to start it using start activity. Then move to main editor too. See, if I run this app now also it won't work because like I have not get the data till now and now the set data till now. So to do that, what I'm gonna do is I directly go to the screen and put a latent var and then a text view. Maybe it can be name itself. Keeping this as name. My text view name is name. And then I'm going to set this name to our text view. It's a variable. We need to text this to what is our ID text view only. Just copy and paste that here. Or else type. Or where, and then give a name to the thing like username itself. You can give the name username itself, and then using this intent, you need to get the data which the intent has passed to you. So the intent has passed the data, but you need to get the data. To get that, get string extra and then the name. What is the name you used? User is the name. So just type user. So now the data has been stored in the username. Now what you're gonna do? You're gonna display the data. If not displaying, the data won't be displayed in the default. It only shows default whenever you open the app. So just call this name text view, put a dot, and then put a text and put an equal to, and then display this username using username. Now what this line does is get the username and set it to the text view. Okay, now we're gonna run this app and see. So it's our old app, but our new app is shown. Okay, so see, enter the name. I'm entering my name, right? My name is Kishor, full name. Okay, and then clicking done. See, I'm getting my name. I can enter whatever I want, like I'm entering Android, and then setting, clicking done. See, so from this you can understand how to get the data from the user. Okay, so let's have our last topic of this session, and after that we're gonna build an app using what are all concept we learned till now. We're gonna build an app. That app is called as guess the number app. So I will tell more about this app after this concept. So after this concept we will have a small break for 10 minutes, and then we'll continue using building the app. So be excited and interactive. Okay, so last concept, it's my add-on concept actually. The event, like I'm adding this topic at extra point because like it will be useful for you to do Android things stuffs. So what is the topic is, let me tell you. That is called as menus. Not this restaurant menus, menus in Android. See, have you seen this thing? This, it shows settings, about, details, everything. So we're gonna create this. Okay. So we're gonna create this in our main activity too. Okay, we can create using this. Main activity. Okay, to create menu, what we're gonna do is just going to the resource. In the resource, there should be a directory called menu. It's not there. So we're gonna create a new, clicking on the resource, clicking right click, new, and then directory, and naming this directory as menu. Okay. So after this, inside this menu, we're gonna create a menu resource file. So it's again an XML file, but the file used to store the menus, like what are the things you want to have. So it's like go to new and then menu resource file, and keep this as menu, so not a problem. And click OK. So after clicking OK, there is this select screen. So this is like guys, this is the toolbar we already have default. So we're not gonna create the toolbar again. We just gonna add a menu in our default toolbar. So like three dots will come here, and after clicking that, our menus will open. So how can we use that? Just go to the coding part, and inside this two menu, just open a quote and set and write item. After writing, add ID to it. ID is nothing but what are the name we're gonna give to this menu. First, our menu will be profile. The next ID will be title of the menu. Title means what is gonna contain. It's also profile only. See whatever I'm doing here, like you can see the output here. See, it's automatically creating the menus, and then close this. Again, create another item. In that, again set a title or else set ID first your wish. set a title to settings, and then it has ID, same settings, but start with small letter because ID is better to use small letter always. And third item is same title thing. So always open this. Third title is about. ID also about only. Okay. Okay. So I'm created the menu now. So how can I use this menu in the layout? To use this menu in the layout, just go to the Kotlin file in whatever layout you want to go. I want to use this in the main activity.2. So I'm going to there. I'm going there. And in that, see, all the functions written in the Android Studio should be after the onCreate. So after onCreate, see, this is the opening tag and closing tab. After onCreate, I'm clicking, making it click, and then what you're gonna do is on create. See, on create, if you put means you will see an option called on create options menu. Click that. So after clicking that, just what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna inflate the menu into a layout. Inflating means like taking that menu what I created and putting it the layout file. So what I'm gonna do is just create a variable for a inflator. So inflator is already available. So just create a val and then inflator. So after this inflator is over, what inflator I'm gonna use? I'm gonna use menu inflator only. Just go to the menu inflator and then set it to the default menu inflator. Okay. So we are initialize the inflator. Okay. So after initializing the inflator, what I'm gonna use to inflate the menus. So I'm initialize the inflator and I'm gonna call the inflator and then inflate our menus. Where is our menus? Our menus is in the resource. So I'm gonna call r dot menu dot. It's again menu because we name it as menu. So by this you can call this, and we're gonna pass the created menu. See, guys, this already has a parameter. So you're gonna take this menu and pass this menu. So since I'm taking all these as menus, you're getting confused. But this menu refers to this thing, and this menu refers to this thing. Okay, and then run the app. Just enter something out here. Let me go. Okay, GGG done. See, now I'm getting a menu, profile, settings, about, but it does nothing because we didn't set anything. Okay, so do you guys want to know like how to set a click listener to this menu? Does anybody want to know? Want to know? I will say that. It takes hardly 5 minutes. Yes. Okay, sure. Like same. You don't need to go to the on create thing. Just go to this like after this is separate part, guys. To click a listener, you need to have separate thing. So that is nothing but on OP if you put means it will already show on options item selected. So from the name itself you can identify on items item selected means what are the items you select, you need to give the listener to that. So click that. See, it's automatically generate every code for you. And inside this, you gonna do this setting of the listeners. So how can we do that? So you have heard a term called switch case in Java. Switch case in Java, right? Have you ever something called as switch case in Java? So in Kotlin, we use a when statement. What is a when statement? When is nothing but yeah, like it's like a switch case only, but it has different functionalities. Inside when, so first I will type all the code and then explain so that you don't get confused. Inside when, I'm calling the item and then item ID. So don't get confused. I'm just typing everything and then explain that later. So and then opening the curly braces and inside that or dot ID dot what are the menu names, its profile settings and about. So always remember the IDs. I'm just typing out everything fast so that I can explain you this thing. Same. You click on copying this same line again and again. Just changing the things like profile and then about. Okay. And then same thing, everything okay. Now perfect. Hey guys, what I have done in this line of code is this whenever you click this when execute. Whenever you click something, this when execute. What it does is using the item in the parameter. So we pass this item using this item. We need to get the item ID. Okay, you need to get the item ID, and these are the three cases having like if you click on the settings item, it will show you clicked on settings. If you click on the profile item, it shows you click on profile. If you click on the about item, it shows you click on about. So that's the main thing. How can we know it clicked on about or settings or about? First, you need to get that ID, whichever the user is getting. So that's basically done here. Using this item, you get the item ID, and checking that item ID is equal to what the user clicked. If the user clicked on the settings, it executes this part. If the user click on the profile, it executes this part. If user click on about, it executes this part. Okay. So if I run this app now, I'm just entering something. Oh my god, it's entering this, and then entering done. So if I click this, it shows you clicked on. Oh, okay, okay. So I have only given three values. That is nothing but you clicked on, you clicked on. I didn't mention what item it clicked. To mention what item it clicked, I'm just adding a plus and passing the item. Just a plus, nothing. I just concatenating the string using the plus and then concatenate with the item. The plus and concatenate with the item. So that you know what item you clicked. Okay. So just run the app again. Okay. So after running the app, just type something. I'm typing a name and then click done. If you go to the menu, if you click on profile, it shows you clicked on profile. If you click on settings, it shows you clicked on settings. If you click on about, It shows you clicked on follow. This is the concept that we use for the menus. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's cool. Okay, so what you want to do is like why I teach this like I would give a small task. Not now. You can do whenever you are free. It's for your reference only. So what you're gonna do is just setting an indent like what I have done in the previous app like if a list is clicked it goes to the second screen and it shows the what list is clicked. So the same way what you're going to do is put an instead of this toast message you're going to put an indent. So you may say that this is one line you're putting this. So what you're going to do is just remove everything and then put a normal curly braces, but they should be there curly braces and then start typing your indent everything related to the indent. And what you're going to do, take you to the main activity like for example you create a main activity dot 3 and then take the user to the main activity dot 3 and then displaying what menu does user click. So in this way if you practice you can learn easily. So this all about the topics in this event. And what I gonna do is like just pause my camera and go for a small break. You guys also go for a small break. After exactly 10 minutes, I will be back and the new project. I'm gonna build a full app, like not a big app, but it's a good starter app. Like we're gonna build a guess a number app. So whatever the mobile will guess a number, and we need to like mobile will think a number. We need to guess the number correctly. So that's the app we're gonna build after this break. So see you after a break, guys.
Yes, Kishore.
Yeah,
Yeah, hi, I'm the DSC lead Sejal here.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
see the time has exceeded. So is it okay if we continue the session some other time? I'll let you know the schedule.
Okay, so you say the Timex exceeded, right?
Yeah, so actually most of the kids are leaving now, and it would be better if I can reschedule it for the upcoming session with you.
Yeah, sure, no problem, no problem, no
Thank
problem.
you so much. The event was really insightful. I hope it helped a lot of students.
So
And
thank you.
yeah, we'll contact you again and we'll let you know if you can join in the next time. Next Saturday.
Okay, sure. Yeah, not a problem, not a problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.